Black Oni.
Or the Xbox. I'm willing to bet that it's Microsoft's fault.
In some way or another. Exactly. All right. I have the agenda pulled up on my phone because if I try to do it on my computer, it might try to confuse itself or something. I don't understand. I don't know. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt in some way here, and I don't think I can do it anymore. But yeah, I think we had just talked about what your fondest memory of E3 was, talking about a few years after the PS3 and 360 were out, and you were able to download it onto your PS3 hard drive. Let's try to move on to the gaming section. So what games are you guys playing?
I have started playing Tomodachi Life, and it's absurd, and I can't stop playing.
Okay.
I have my friends, the Tomodachi version of my friends, making music videos. I've uploaded a few to YouTube. They're ridiculous. I try and make them as dirty as I can without getting through the parental control filter on all 3DS games. It's fun.
So where can people check that out?
Oh, the videos?
Yeah.
I will link to them as soon as I'm done here.
All right, good. So you guys will be able to go to youtube.com/
I think it's /check. I don't actually know. I never use YouTube, like ever.
Well, it'll be annotated in some way on
Yeah.
Black Oni blog and on the YouTube video. So you guys will be able to check that out there. But yeah, would you recommend people buy Tomodachi Life?
It's really fun. It's kind of like Animal Farm, except that like you put in all of your friends rather than random animals. Animal Crossing, not Animal Farm. That's a book. That's the wrong thing. And rather than like pouring in hours and hours a day, you put in like 20 minutes at a time, fulfill all of your little Islanders requests, and then like go do something else. So it's more of a long-term play, but less marathoning.
Okay.
That's still cool.
Yeah. It's really fun. Yeah, it's like The Sims, but you don't directly control them. You just like fulfill their desires, and occasionally they'll be like, really like this person. Should I pursue a relationship? And you can say yes or no.
Nice.
Like my friend Ryan is in the game, and he told me that he really liked another friend, and what should he do? And I told him to use a line, and I told him to say, "Nice bum, where you from?" And he did it, and now she's his girlfriend.
Yes. Now that's how you do it. You guys at home trying to figure out how to get a girlfriend. I mean, that's all you got. That's all you got to say.
It was actually hilarious. Like, they were in a diner, and so there's like just the sound of people eating all around them. Oh, and these actually have voices. They actually have little computerized voices that speak.
I heard about that. Oh, I actually remember seeing that in the preview.
So they're in a diner. There's like the sound of clinking forks and plates, and everything goes quiet. And then he just looks up nervously and just goes, "Nice bum. Where are you from?" And then it goes back to quiet for like 40 minutes. Well, she just looks at him like, I don't know what to do. And then she just says, "Sure." And then they were boyfriend and girlfriend.
I mean, that's how it goes. That's, in real life, you can say that to somebody, "Nice bum, where you from?" And that's how you get a girlfriend, or temporary girlfriend of some sort, depending on your demographic.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah, it's really nice out today.
It's a little warm where I'm at.
You say it's a little windy where you're at?
It's a little warm. It's like 80 degrees where I'm at.
Oh yeah, a little warm.
A little warm here, but I'm willing to take it after the like freezing cold spring and winter.
Yeah, we didn't have a spring. We had a winter.
Yeah.
An extended winter. All right, what are you playing, Dave?
Recently it's been Watch Dogs, Wolfenstein, NBA 2K. Next on my list is Super Time Force. I'm going to be checking that out today.
Yes.
And
got you that review code. What?
Yeah.
There should be more on the way. Apparently, I'm not able to get Murdered Soul Suspect because Square Enix is like, no, you're not going to get it right now. But
that's okay.
I'll still keep trying.
From what I hear, I'm going to stay away from that game.
Yeah, review scores have been not so favorable lately.
And someone gave a good description of what was in it, and just the way they described it sounded boring and dull and kind of stupid. Like, I don't know, the game itself didn't really intrigue me at first, and then as soon as reviews came out, they described what it was. It just doesn't sound intriguing at all.
Mm.
And yeah, I think that's it recently. Not much else.
Gotcha. Out of the games that you've listed, which one would you recommend to people to check out? If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, no, that's NBA 2K. That's easy. I mean, that's because I've been really getting into basketball recently, especially with the NBA Finals on right now. And just as a sports game, it's fantastic.
Mm.
But, I mean, if you're not a sports fan, overall, well, the verdict's not in yet. I'd say Watch Dogs. There's enough stuff to do in that game that it's probably going to keep me busy for at least 40 to 50 hours, at least.
Nice. So I've been playing mostly Warframe. And
You are on that a lot.
yes, I am. I looked up how many hours it was, and it wasn't 300. It was more like 120 or something like that. So
I was wrong. I'm sorry.
I was very shocked when you said that the first one. I was like, holy fuck.
It was either you or Matthew, because I know you and him play that game a lot. I knew you had a lot, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that game a lot. Like, I keep learning more stuff about it that I'm just like, oh my god, I can do this now? What? Yeah. I started a clan in there, and one of the other people that I recruited into the clan has been, like, heavily putting content and stuff into the clan, so I'm like, I have to promote you to, like, our second highest rank, because you've been putting in a lot of work into the clan, so, like, you know, there's, like, a hierarchy now of, like, people you can have in the clan, and it's really fascinating. So, like, I'm getting to the point now where I want to start, you know, making as many labs and as many things as possible before I expand the clan. Because after you expand the clan, it becomes very difficult to gather resources to do things. So, I've been playing that, and I've been playing a little bit of Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs, the verdict isn't out for that yet. I think it's a fun game, but it has some things that bother me about it.
Well,
go ahead.
tell me what, like, because we both played it now. What bothers you about it?
The driving.
And to me, it's more like a realist. Like, you can't gun it in real life and just tap the brakes and then zip down the street to your left in GTA.
Yeah.
Like, in Watch Dogs, it feels more real to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, like, I think that aspect of it makes a lot of sense, but when it comes to the actual responsiveness of what you're doing replicated on screen, it's not I've been very used to a lot of driving mechanics in a lot of different games. This goes down to Gran Turismo. This goes down to Grand Theft Auto 4 versus 5 versus 3. You know, I've played Sleeping Dogs. I've been playing, you know, all different types of games. Just Cause, like, those all have different driving mechanics, and they all make sense. They have a responsiveness to the way that you handle the car, and if Gran Turismo, for example, it handles that in a more realistic way, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think the problem lies in the delay between when you're pressing or inputting something like left or right and the actual action of doing it. It doesn't feel right. And I haven't driven every car in the game, so it could just be the cars that I've driven so far, and I haven't spent that much time with the game as I probably could have. But I mean, that's where I'm at right now. Are you guys still there? What's up, everybody? Tubes and... Whoa, there's like another Steelers fan thing there. I don't know why. Dave, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, it's so weird. It shows me like Steelers fan, 1KK, then myself. It shows like two of you. Which, whatever works. I'm going to make sure the agenda is pulled up today. But yeah, welcome to episode motherfucking 25 of the Black Oni Podcast.
That's a lot of episodes.
Shit, you telling me? It's a lot of agendas.
I say that every time, but that's a lot of episodes.
It is a lot of episodes. Oh, man. Let me log into my admin account on the Black Oni blog. You guys at home, make sure you check out the blackoniblog.com. to see articles and stuff like that on the site. Both Kev and Dave, the 1KK and Soil, aka SoAD, have articles on that website, so you should check that out. And I put my agendas on there now so that it's easily accessible to the internet. I'm trying to figure out a way to like make it so that it's private for anyone of us, so that I can send it to the website, the actual link, as opposed to like some Word document that I put together. But anyway, I want to introduce the two people I have on the podcast today. The first is the 1KK.
What's going on?
Yeah, and the other is Soil, aka SoAD.
What's up?
And first of all, I want to give shout outs to both of you. First of all, for making it onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Soil has why do we play.co, WDWP.
Yes.
Yes. There's content added on there regularly. It's like every 2 days there's stuff on there, right?
Yeah, it's like we're getting it every week. Like Matthew is Monday, I'm Wednesday, and Chad's Friday, and we're getting guest articles too now.
Nice.
Which they asked me to ask you about. They said if you ever want to write anything, they wouldn't mind because they are fans of you as well.
Really? Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. Feels good. I will. Yeah. I mean, I'll write something. No problem. Yeah, that's exciting.
It has been. Yeah, it's steadily growing, steadily.
Steadily, surely, slowly, maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
So we're gonna jump right into the icebreaker, otherwise known as the icebreaker. So, what is your fondest memory of E3? Last episode, Dave and I talked about kind of what our favorite E3 was. I wanted to ask you two kind of what is like a memory that goes along with an E3 that you'll just never forget. I can start since I have it in my mind. So back in, it might have been 2006 or 2005, I'm not sure. It was back when the PS3 and the 360 were kind of first unveiled and talked about in the media. And I remember specifically, I was actually with Hattori, and another person I play online with, Rizzy Riz, Rajai. If you are listening, shout out to you as well. Both of them, Trinity Mark Blue, who's been on the podcast before, Darius is his name. We were all, I think I had my friend Brian and Brandon and Matthew. We were all together, and we were playing basketball, and we knew that E3 was happening. And at the time, I had like barely DSL internet connection. And we went to my place, and we logged on to the computers, and there was a library we went to down by where the basketball court was. This was in Roxbury. We went there. We were like looking at the computers and looking up everything we can find about, all the games that were coming out. Spider-Man and whoa, fucking the Kinect is like freaking out over there. And I remember fondly of like all these memories of all these games that they were being, that they were announcing, and we were just like freaking out and super excited. And we had just came back from basketball, and we were exhausted. We were sweaty. We were in my mom's place, just like sweating all over the couch and shit. And it was a good time. And I hope that a lot of the youth kind of growing up are able to kind of experience that excitement on E3 of like getting together with your friends and like nerding out completely. Because I feel like there's a lot of younger kids who are very privileged because they don't know what it was like before DSL was a thing. We had dial up and shit, and people used to read magazines for news.
I still do, but
yeah,
it's just like 2 months late.
Yeah, this is true.
I get to read reviews of games that I've already finished. It's pretty good.
Gotta love magazines.
What about you, Kevin?
Probably, I don't know. I'm thinking probably right when the PS3 and 360 were announced. I didn't actually watch the video, but I just remember reading all these articles that were just like pictures from the games and like statistics about the systems and just thinking that it was ridiculous how powerful they were. Because it was just so much more than anything else before. You know what I mean? Like the PS4 announcement was good and it looked awesome, but I don't think it's as big a leap between like PS2 and PS3 as it is between PS3 and PS4.
Really?
Just because like it's so much harder to go. You know, like everything's exponential.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even just a user interface and just interacting with the console is so much different.
Yeah.
And so much better on. I mean, like I said this before. Like I kind of dread sometimes playing on PS3 because like on PS4 just everything is better.
Guess I mean, I don't have a particular one in mind, but that kind of alludes to the PS3. It was like maybe a year or two after it came out, and it was one of the first times they allowed you to download the E3 press conference, like just via the PlayStation Store. And I remember waiting like 5 or
Hey, all three of us.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. Don't worry. It wasn't you. It was my Skype. Skype crashed. It was like, oh, Skype unexpectedly quit. Would you like to send an error report? It's like, you ain't gonna do shit about it. I'll still send the report, but this program's still gonna keep crashing.
Yep.
So, you guys at home who just kind of chimed in at this very particular moment, Skype crashed. Obviously, Skype likes to do that shit. But what were you saying? Sorry, before we were so rudely interrupted by Skype's nonsense.
Yeah, that back when they first started doing it, that I would download just the Sony press conference just so I could see it. And I remembered we'd wait that 5 or 6 hours, and then once it was done, it would be like me and some of my best friends, like Kenny and Jordan, if he was around, and we would watch the whole thing just straight, just with our mouse on the floor, just oh my god, like look at it, yeah. Like I don't remember when.
You know, I'm at this point. I'm at that shot stage where I'm like, I should just start doing shots. I got so much shit to do today, and it's like, this is the E3 episode. Got to get through this shit.
Keep going.
Yeah, Watch Dogs, driving mechanics, not as responsive as I need them to be.
Agreed.
And
Well, I find
I'm
the
not
more you
surprised by
play,
that.
the more cars you drive with, the better it feels. But that's just me. It's a pain in the ass at first.
Yeah.
But I kind of got used to it, kind of. Like, I can zip around the city in a motorcycle now like nothing else.
Yeah, and like it's not that. I mean, I just find myself very not liking it versus any other driving game I played, except maybe for Grand Theft Auto 4. And I didn't like that just because like it was too, you know, they went too realistic for the type of game that they were trying to do there, and it became very boring to drive. So like it wasn't even that, but like I just feel like it just doesn't work that well in Watch Dogs. And I remember after I started making those comments, I started reading up on it and seeing other people having the same kind of issue as I was having. So I know it's not an isolated incident. I know it's not just like me.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm going to still keep giving it a chance because I did pay for it anyway, so I might as well be playing it. Anyway, we're going to try to move on to the next. Awkward pause.
Yeah.
Try to make our way to the next sections of the podcast. I gotta look at my fucking phone for it. So latest / new game releases. WildStar release for PC.
I'm really intrigued to see how that does.
So, do you think it's gonna do well?
I don't know. I mean, the market's kind of flooded with MMORPGs right now.
Yeah.
But it is offering something a little bit different. So I'm intrigued to see like what reviews say and if it actually succeeds.
Mm. And so, what would you say is the thing that it is doing to differentiate itself from the other MMOs?
Based on what I saw at PAX East, it just has like a very different aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's got a different like home building.
Yep.
Mechanic. I don't know. I haven't read it up on it as much as I'd like, so I don't know. It just looks very different than other things. Mm. Like it's not just fantasy based, and it's not just like sci-fi based. It's something between the two.
Right.
So,
and from what I understand, it's a non-turn based or I guess, WoW styled MMO. It's more action oriented.
Yeah.
From my understanding, at least. There is Ultra Street Fighter 4. which is another version of Street Fighter 4. I think I have.
Capcom loves to just make the same game like 100 times.
Yes, they do. They are the kings of re-releasing titles.
I know. It's like, why would I buy anything that comes out from them? Because they're just going to release it 100 more times, and I'm going to want the 100th one. So why would I buy the first one?
Right. I'm with you on that one. I bought Street Fighter 4, then Street Fighter 4 arcade. No, Super Street Fighter 4 came out. Then Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition came out, and now Ultimate Street Fighter 4.
Good gosh.
Plus Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS.
Right.
The 3D
How many damn versions do they need?
So one of the things I love about Warframe is that the way that their game is set up, they don't have to release new versions of Warframe. They can keep updating it.
Well, that's how most games are now. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know why Capcom hasn't gotten the memo on how to just
because they want more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they need more money.
Yeah.
They wouldn't need more money if they didn't keep wasting so many fucking resources. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me talking the talk. Damn it, scroll down. Mario Kart 8 just released as well for the Wii U.
I wish I had a Wii U for that game. But I also don't want a Wii U, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where
it'll probably be out on the 3DS in like 6 months, and then I'll play it there.
Oh, that's true. They tend to be doing that a lot now.
Yes,
like we have
like
this
Donkey Kong, which...
Go ahead.
Donkey Kong was the last Donkey Kong was a Wii U exclusive. The new one's still only on Wii U, but like the last one a year later just comes to 3DS. So I'll just wait. It's fine. I had the last Mario Kart, which was only on the 3DS, so I will be fine until then.
Yeah, they have a tendency to kind of like, hey, we have this really cool game that's coming out on Wii U. Awesome! And it's also coming on 3DS. Oh.
Yeah.
Why would I buy a Wii U then?
For your HD home experience console game, I don't know. I can't defend it. I'd like to, but what Kevin said, it's like I want that Mario Kart game, but I still don't want a Wii U. I just don't.
I'm gonna wait until the Wii U is just dirt cheap before I invest money into it.
If Super Smash Brothers, the new one, was also only Wii U and not 3DS, I'd consider it. But it is also on the 3DS.
There's a Legend of Zelda coming on Wii U and Bayonetta 2 coming at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when those drop, if they're good and the price is right, I'll pick one up. If not, then I'll keep waiting.
Yeah.
Because I have plenty to keep me busy for the time being. It's not like I'm hurting for games.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of hoping to be more hurting for games because I've got a backlog.
Yeah.
And I know that releases are, for this month and for next month, releases are not much. Like, there's not much coming out.
Right.
But there's still been enough just this spring that I'm still backed up on games.
Yes, absolutely.
I still have games from last played.
Yeah, I have to beat Ni no Kuni and Tales of Exilia still. And I just bought, like, a couple of games I never played, like Okami and...
I played, like, 3 hours of Tales of Exilia, and it looked really cool, and then I didn't play anymore.
I still haven't beaten Batman Arkham Origins.
I didn't even pick that up.
Yeah, there's so many games.
I didn't pick it up either. Yeah.
So many to catch up on. It's ridiculous.
And, like, PlayStation Network keeps giving me more games that I want to play, especially on the PS3, like, full games that I really want to play. And I just download them, and then they just sit there.
Remember Me? I wanted to play Remember Me, and it's available free on PlayStation Plus, so I
played it for, like, 3 hours.
How was
good.
it?
I think 3 hours is my max. It was okay. It was what all the reviews said it was. The memory mechanic was really cool, but that happens like 4 times throughout the entire game. And it's got like glitchy combat and glitchy, like customizable combat that seems really cool, but like it's got glitchy physics.
I played it and beat it, but that was enough.
Yeah.
Was the story good?
It was all right. I mean, I don't know. It was like a futuristic, melee, slightly glitchy Uncharted game made by Capcom.
Yeah, yeah. Only
Interesting.
like you can't grab onto ledges well. You tend to just fall down and die.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
a
Yeah,
shame.
you had to do it just right.
So like Nathan Drake, if he actually had like real person skills, but not on purpose. She's supposed to have Nathan Drake quality like platforming skills. She just doesn't.
No, she tries. She tries.
That's so good. It's like if it was Nathan Drake, except with real people skills. That needs to be the title of this podcast. So good. So yeah, those are the releases. I have a question in this podcast. I want to ask you guys at the very end, but it kind of relates to what we were just talking about with the Wii U. But I will get to that.
Okay.
And you've already seen it in the podcast agenda too, so you already know what I'm talking about. But everyone else might not know. So
I haven't looked at the podcast agenda, so it's a total surprise to me.
yes, that's how I like it. So the gaming news is a whole bunch of things. First of all, obviously E3 is, by the time this video is up and the podcast itself on audio is up, it will be day one of E3. It'll be noon, hopefully. And Microsoft and Sony are both hosting something very different for their E3 announcements. Sony is hosting events in theaters across the U.S., and Microsoft says that they're doing something that they haven't done before in the past for their E3 press conference. And Nintendo is Nintendo. They are doing their own, I guess, electronic presentation to kind of coincide with E3, but it's not a specific E3 event.
They're also presenting like last, right? Like they're the last people to speak.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a timetable and like they're late enough that in parts of the world they're on Wednesday.
Oh shit.
Because it's like after midnight on the East Coast here when they present, but in like Australia it's Wednesday by the time they present.
Shit. Well, I mean, I do hope that they have some really exciting things to announce because there are still a lot of people who really, really love anything Nintendo does. So for those people, I think that it's important for them to have something for this time of the year, you know?
Yeah. I'd like to see something awesome.
Hopefully. There were rumors of Nintendo's E3 presentation being leaked through social media. And I didn't take enough time to kind of really inspect everything that was kind of talked about during that. But for you guys at home, there's a link so that you can check that out to see what kind of things were leaked in that link. Did you guys check that out?
I did not.
Okay. And my phone is being weird. I wanted to bring it up and show it as an example, but it's not letting me do it. So, fuck it. Nintendo's E3 presentation leaked. Yay. I swear I should be able to click on these links. Whatever. Bethesda is looking to surprise everyone with an announcement this year.
I wonder what it could be.
Now,
It's not going to be that.
and what is it that you're thinking?
Yeah, it's not going to be that. I was really hoping it was going to be Fallout 4.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it's not.
Well, from
They suck like that.
from the indications that we got, they said that it wasn't going to be that. But I mean, we're at the point now where they could have been lying because companies have been really prone to lying to us.
And
True.
there were rumors a couple months ago about them scouting locations in a certain city, which I live near.
Yes. Yeah. Cough, cough.
So, that would be really cool, and I would really enjoy that.
So cool. So fucking cool. On next gen, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
But, probably not the case.
So, you guys at home, Fallout 4 is rumored to be released on next gen only apparently, and take place in Boston, which, as you know, is where we reside or reside near. And I would really like that a lot. The likelihood of them announcing that at E3 is very low because they've already kind of said outright that they weren't going to do it. But again, they've said before in the past that they weren't going to do stuff like that. And the whole releasing on next gen thing as opposed to last gen with Grand Theft Auto and Naughty Dog and all that shit. They've all lied about that shit.
Yeah.
But like, what else could this possibly be? Like, do you think this could be a new IP totally, or do you think this could be something that Doom? Okay,
It could be Doom.
Because
I didn't even think about that.
is it Bethesda or Bethesda Softworks that did Wolfenstein
Mm-hmm.
with because it's in there. It's right in the fucking game case.
Is it id?
I got it sitting right here. Yeah.
id and Bethesda working
Or
together on that.
Wolfenstein was at the Bethesda booth area at PAX, so
That is true.
it is them.
Mm.
It could be just DLC for Wolfenstein. Yay!
That'd be stupid.
That'd be stupid as fuck.
Come on. I mean, they're saying a Doom beta. They're advertising it on the front cover, which is, I assume they're getting ready.
Mm.
Maybe.
Hopefully. Yeah, I think. Yeah, maybe that makes more sense than anything like Fallout related, because they. I feel like if they're gonna announce something, they should have something to show, and they probably don't have enough to show for Fallout. So yeah, hopefully.
You've destroyed my hopes and dreams. I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep.
It's what I do. It's my mantra. Nintendo is said to be trimming the fat on its company. They just laid off. I might be having a dyslexic moment right now. They said it was 105 or 150 employees. I don't remember which one it was, but it was a combination of 1, 5, and 0 in some capacity. And I kind of wonder if that has to do with their financial situation, or if it has to more do with kind of just being smart about how they're allocating their resources.
It's probably both. Their financial situation has not been so great in the recent years, so that probably doesn't help. I'm assuming that they're just sort of like looking to streamline things, and maybe getting rid of people who didn't have ideas in the directions that they wanted. Because they're very much like an idea company. They like to pick for where they're going and just sort of make sure everybody's on the same page.
Right.
And
if people aren't on the same page, they get the boot.
Yeah.
All right. Thoughts, Dave?
I kind of go with what Kevin said.
Yeah.
I like both.
Yeah. I guess it's good in some ways that they're laying off so many people, but I guess my kind of concern that drives from that is like what happened with the people that are rational. It's like have they gotten so big that they've started losing some of what they've been trying to do, and how that can apply to the other companies, like Microsoft and Sony. At what point do you get so large that you start losing some of the vision that you had?
Well, I think Nintendo's past that, though. Nintendo, was the original giant. I think, if anything, they've not shrunk in recent years, but tried to refocus. So,
yeah,
I think this is probably just part of that refocusing.
It's pretty legit. Okay, so a bunch of games have been announced, or teased, I should say. EA and Criterion are all working on games that will apparently be very exciting for people. Spec Ops, the guys who did Spec Ops are working on a game based on the Unreal Engine 4 coming to next gen. Crystal Dynamics is working on a new IP, and there's a whole bunch of other games that were kind of teased and hinted at. And oh my god, I fucking wish. All right, I'm going to try this again. So forgive me if this cuts out and everything just kind of goes to hell as a result of me going on the internet.
All right, I'm looking too because I was trying to recall crystals.
Yeah, I opened the article and read it all, but I totally forgot everything that was in that.
I can't read my computer in this light anyway, so I'm just going to sit here.
Well, it was EA and Criterion were guessing New Mirror's Edge, Star Wars Battlefront, maybe something like that.
For a second, I thought you were combining the two, and I was like, "That is crazy."
That is
Star
nuts.
Wars Mirror's Edge.
No, just counting. The
Jedi
new Spec
Part
Ops dev game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of dumb to release another one. It didn't do that well, but who knows?
Well, I think it didn't do that well, but like people have been considering it a sleeper hit.
Oh yeah, like I really enjoyed it. Like I thought it was a nice third-person shooter that added some grittiness and some drama to war for a change, and
Yeah.
it's a serious game.
Yeah, it totally is a serious game. It definitely put my expectations like way off of its axis. I was just like, I don't even know what to expect at this point. Like, the whole time you're looking for this soldier who supposedly, sent out this relay, this SOS, and you start discovering things about the characters and about the situation that are just like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's like it's a really fucked up story too. So and there's like very many things that are like multifaceted, and there's like multiple endings that you can actually get. So I think this was a really refreshing game, and I think if they were able to bring something on this level to next gen, but kind of like really push it and really advertise it more, so people are more intrigued, and really push stuff like co-op, for example. Like that's a game that would have been perfect for a co-op campaign.
Oh yeah.
And that's probably where one of the ways that they missed an opportunity to really like capitalize on the co-op allure, being able to bring people together and play that type of game. I mean, I don't want to ruin anything, so I'm being very vague in the way I'm describing it.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking back on it. I might want to play through it again because it was free for PlayStation Plus members for a time too.
Yep.
That's the only reason I picked it up and played it.
Yeah, and I was glad I did too, because it was like, wow, I probably would have bought this game if I really paid more attention to what it had to offer.
That is one of the games that's sitting on my PlayStation that I haven't turned on.
I would say if you have a lull during the summer and nothing else is eating away at your time,
Give it your 3 hours, Kevin.
Yeah,
I will.
Give it your 3 hours.
Yeah, have a drink or two and play the game, play through a couple of hours, and be like, all right, if you like it, then keep playing. If not, by then you'll know if you like it or not.
For me, either I give something 3 hours and put it down, or I become totally engrossed and lose 2 weeks of my life. There's no in between. It's either glancing interest or totally absorbing, and I'll blow off social engagements to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, Warframe, cough.
That's been me in Final Fantasy XIV before I went on vacation and kind of had to put it down for a week, and now I'm having trouble getting back into it.
Oh, you haven't been playing with Jordan, right? Because you guys are all on different servers.
Yeah. I've also only been online for a total of maybe 3 hours this week, maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
So
All right.
I started playing Final Fantasy X again, and that's been taking up a lot of my time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me see what one of the other ones, the Crystal Dynamics IP.
Dynamics, that was the latest Tomb Raider entry.
Yeah.
So if it's either going to be a new IP or maybe a sequel, it's a little early for one. But
I wasn't too early.
I was really impressed with that game. That's true. That's true.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be a new. Well, I don't know. I have a hard time kind of figuring out if it'll be a new IP because Square Enix, we're talking about how they ended up losing all this money because they're doing all these IPs, but technically Tomb Raider isn't a new IP; it's just a reboot. And then Hitman Absolution was a reboot in a lot of ways, and Sleeping Dogs was a new IP. I don't know. I mean, would you?
Tomb Raider wouldn't surprise me at all. Tomb Raider sounds like something they do because it came out 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
So, right? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
2 years ago. So.
Wait, didn't it come out in 2013?
No,
The Game of the Year edition just came out this year for PS4, and it was
right.
a year old. So it came out.
It came out a little over a year ago because I remember it came out in January or February, right?
Did it?
February, I think. February or March-ish. It was earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they announce it now, it'll come out after more than 2 years after the last one. So I think that's quite reasonable,
Yeah,
and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's good timing, especially considering like how fast games are turned out these days.
Yeah.
It might premiere it this year at E3 and release it early to mid next year. I can see that.
Yeah. I really, I would be okay with that.
I mean, it would also make sense because people are still talking about the reboot, and if they waited, another year before or 6 months before they announce something, then they might lose some of that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh man. I want a Tomb Raider sequel. I really enjoyed that game. There were even more tombs and more.
A lot could have been done better. I really enjoyed it, like for as something to play through, but a lot could have been done better.
What would you say would be the top thing they could have done better?
More tombs.
I agree.
There were not
since they
many
were
in the
optional.
game. Yeah, there were not many in the game, and the DLC didn't add any, and the multiplayer was terrible. Like, just get rid of the multiplayer. You don't need it. Focus on making a better, like, more robust single-player game.
I'll say this about the multiplayer. I played the multiplayer for at least 8 hours.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it for what it was, but
it was like forgettable. Like
yeah, and it had a lot of network instability, a lot of instability.
Yeah, and if anything, it drove down review scores.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't add anything to the game. It just added something mediocre.
Yeah.
So if you made a better single-player experience, I think that's what fans want from a Tomb Raider game. Unless I'm actually raiding tombs like cooperatively with a friend, which would be awesome.
Yes, it would actually.
I don't need another deathmatch mode. I just don't need it.
That's true. If they wanted to add multiplayer, they should do cooperative. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it added some like really cool puzzles that you could do with 2 or 4 people. Kind of like how like a Little Big Planet. I mean, it's a totally different thing, but like Little Big Planet, like you can go through levels, and sometimes if you had 4 people with you, you would be able to access new parts of the level. But if you didn't, then you'd only be able to do so much.
Yeah. Or like Uncharted, their co-op multiplayer mode. Do something like that, but add in more actual puzzle elements, and I think that could be really good.
And they can keep adding in more missions, kind of like how games are continuously adding content. One of the ways that they can really give back to the community who bought their game would be like continuously adding new types of missions or new missions or new variations of a level. Like now start from this side, and like now you have a different objective to go to the end.
I also don't think that this is going to be the case, but I think an episodic Tomb Raider would make a lot of sense too. It's the type of game where it very easily breaks down into episodes. Like it could be a TV show. So I think that would make sense. I don't think they'll do that because it's still sort of their big franchise, so they want to release one big game.
Yeah.
But it would make sense.
I think so, yeah. Each area you can go by a campfire, and then
I mean, totally even the last Tomb Raider, like it had a good overall story, but from level to level, there wasn't enough interconnection that I couldn't put it down and come back a week later and not miss anything.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Well, I'm very intrigued to see what these companies that we have listed here, Criterion, EA, the guys who did Spec Ops, Crystal Dynamics. I'm really interested to see what kind of stuff they'll have for us because their last games that they released were all really good. So,
EA could be anything.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Some people are saying that it could be Mass Effect 4 that they're going to be announcing.
I doubt it.
Could be.
I'm very on.
I don't think EA would announce that.
Okay.
I think BioWare would announce that.
All right, that's true.
I'd agree. Yeah.
I really want there to be another.
It could be Madden. It could be Madden.
I hope not. Come on.
Well, I will say this:
anyway.
the screenshot they released for Madden looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
They lied again too, though. As a Madden fan, they lied again.
What they say?
They said Madden 25, as their 25th anniversary edition, was designed that they worked so hard on it that we wouldn't be doing an annual release anymore. We would wait and just update the roster and just release another game after another 2 or 3 years. And then, bam, right again, 1 year later, ooh, a new Madden's coming out.
Well, did they say that
you guys. I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of that shit.
Do they say that one's coming this year?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This August.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it will be a bestseller, so they'll make money.
Of course it will be. Yeah, it's going to make money. It's going to sell out. I'm probably going to buy it anyway because it's Madden and I love football. I hate it. I hate myself right now for saying it.
You're the problem.
You're the problem. I got to stop pissing me off. But if they release any football game, and because they have the rights to the NFL, we can't see an NFL 2K like we did with NBA.
It's
true. Just stuck in their hands. Yeah. So it's all we got.
The fact that it's EA announcing it, though, makes me think it's EA Sports because, as like a game maker goes, that's what they're known for.
Right. That's true. And
everything else is subsidiaries, and I'd assume that they'd let the subsidiaries announce their game.
Do you think they'll announce another basketball game?
What?
Do you think they'll announce another basketball game?
NBA 2K15 is coming out later this year. I'm not sure if they're going to do another NBA Live because that one apparently sucked.
Apparently it was so garbage that even EA was like, damn, we fucked up. But was it you who was telling me that sports games, like, if you buy, NBA 2K14 this year and then 15 comes out next year, like 14 you can't play online anymore?
I didn't know that.
That's what I heard.
Eventually they stopped supporting it, but they stopped supporting every game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of wary about games that are online only type of thing, because when it comes to like Titanfall, for example, on PC, since there's barely anyone playing, obviously you can't play if you don't have a party of people to play with, but like if they cut off servers for a game that's only online and you really like playing that game, what does that mean for...
A lot of things have gotten crowdfunded. Like, some games have gotten crowdfunded to continue support.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But otherwise, I understand. Unless you're charging a monthly subscription fee, like, somebody bought a $50 game 5 years ago. That doesn't mean that their money is even affecting your upkeep of servers anymore.
That's true. So what would be I guess crowdsource funding would kind of be the way to circumvent that, right?
Yeah.
What do you think would be another way that developers can kind of keep servers going like that? If there was a way that servers can be self-sustained in some way?
I mean, if they had like if they had like a maintenance fee, which I would really hate. I don't want to say that, but like a yearly maintenance fee for servers if you play online after the first year. Because if they're not adding new content, the actual cost to run a server isn't astronomical.
Really?
So you could charge like a minimal amount a year, I think, and be good. But I don't want to see that, so I'm not going to mention it again.
Developers, don't listen to that. Don't listen.
Yeah. That would be the worst. If you went on, like, you bought a game this year, and then you went to go play it next year, and it was just like, if you want to continue to play, pay us $5.
Fuck that. I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys have seen on the internet the craze that is the Luigi Death Stare.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yes. And we mentioned Mario Kart 8 already.
Yep.
And I think Nintendo went on record, or a division of Nintendo went on record saying that they're holding a contest for like the best Death Stare clip. And I remember, Infamous did something similar where they did like a contest for like the best photo for the game. And I'm finding it really interesting to see all these companies and all these developers kind of involving the community in a way that kind of gets them playing the game more, but also with them kind of being creative about that and kind of exposing that to other people who haven't played that. So like now one of the reasons why I want to play Mario Kart 8 is so that I can like recreate situations where Luigi's just giving that fucking evil ass death stare, It's like
you're gonna kill somebody.
Yeah. I think it's a really.
I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. Trying to game into something that's a meme is an awesome idea. Like, that's one of the main reasons I play Tomodachi Life is so I can take screenshots and put them on my Tumblr.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons I have Persona 4 on Vita is because it's very easy to screenshot it and put up the weird innuendos on my Tumblr.
And it's a win because developers are getting more exposure because of that, and we're having fun doing that kind of stuff. So it's like pretty awesome. Do you I forgot exactly what I was about to ask, but I'm gonna kind of circumvent like what I was going to ask with something different. Do you think more developers are going to start trying to involve the community like that more? I mean, like, do you think? Well, first of all, do you think that Nintendo made that a thing on purpose, or if it was kind of a product of people kind of like catching on to it subtly?
I think it was unintentional. I think it was just one of those things that people noticed. Were like, "Oh man, that's awesome," and then it just kind of spiraled on from there. I don't think that was intentional.
But I think the attitude that Nintendo took to it is what's new and what is sort of catching on. That like this thing that we put in our game is really funny, even though we didn't intend it to be. So rather than sort of getting mad about it, we're going to leverage it and try and make our game more popular. And I think that that's really smart.
Very smart, very smart. And I think we will eventually see more stuff like that kind of happening.
Yeah.
And again, I mentioned Infamous before. Like they had a very intentional thing that they were doing with their marketing campaign, and even I don't know if you guys ever checked this out, but they have the paper trail thing.
It wasn't working for so long.
Really?
It wasn't for a while.
It wasn't working for the first month the game was out.
Yeah.
Every site associated with it was down.
Oh wow! So they probably had so many people, like so much traffic.
That's possible. Well, one of my friends really liked it though.
Before the game
loved about it.
Yeah.
But I played one mission. That was it. Because of the same thing that happened to me.
Okay, so aside from the fact that it wasn't working properly, I would say that was also a very smart thing that they did, kind of like creating a meta game within it, or creating kind of a meta, mini activity you can do in between playing the game.
I mean, fake websites are always great. Like, I think it was like Grand Theft Auto 3 was one of the first people to do that when they made like the fake website for what is the soda that's not Sprite?
Like it's it was green, like it was on your phone.
Yeah, and they also had like all the websites from your phone as actual websites. Like they never advertised it; they were just there.
And you can Easter eggs, yeah.
Xbox, stop listening. It heard something and it picked up on it.
We try to do that forever. we try to get your Xbox to turn on.
You guys messed it. It came through that time.
Oh, that's so funny. So yeah, I think games have gotten. There was a while, like I remember in like the PS2 days, where like games were really good about Easter eggs. And then, like, next gen happened, and a lot of them kind of dropped that. And then they're starting to bring it back.
Well, I think Easter eggs are starting to, like, leave the main game and start going into the real world. And I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I like that quite a lot, actually. Ow. I just hit myself with a damn desk. Hot topics. Okay. Before we go into the hot topics, does anyone
We're making weird noises today?
I know, right? I'm kind of in a funky, crazy mood today because of E3! E3!
Almost.
Literally a day away from it. Well, when you guys are watching this on the internet, webs, places where you can listen and shit, it will already be E3 time, and things will be announced, and minds will be blown. People will nerdgasm everywhere.
I can't see what you guys are doing, so I'm just
I'm doing the nerdgasm animation with my hands.
That was good.
I can't wait. We're almost there.
I don't remember a time when I was last year I was really excited for E3, but I think even this year I'm more excited for E3 because we're seeing things in application. We're seeing. And in my videos that I mentioned, I didn't mention in this podcast, but I did a series of 2 videos. Did Dave just go that way? Oh, yeah, he did. Okay, just making sure. I mentioned in the videos that there were 2 things, both Sony and Microsoft can do some really cool things to impress us at this year's E3. And I listed the top 5 things that they could do to really get us pumped up and excited. And I think some of those things will happen. the one thing I remember saying on the video was like, both Sony and Microsoft need to like bring some really cool ideas and things to the table for new IPs.
Yes.
But Sony, more so than Microsoft, really needs to start relying at least a little bit on some of the nostalgic values that the PlayStation brand brings to the table.
But I think that they have less of their own that they can market for that, and I think that's part of the problem. You know, like, what would you like to see? It could be Little Big Planet, but that's not even done by Sony.
Yeah, Media Molecule.
Yeah.
So, Legend of Dragoon 2. That needs to be a thing. Or
Yeah, but the first one, like, nobody knows what that is anymore.
I know.
That was PS1. That's so long ago.
I know.
That was
that's the beauty.
PS1, and it wasn't successful outside of Japan.
And that's the beauty of it too. It's like they have that IP that they can even reboot it if they wanted to. They already have the story. They already have kind of the character involvement in relationships. They already have the fact that it is like something that people will recognize in some way, but it can still be considered a new IP to a lot of people because there are people out there who've never heard of it at all. And I think that could work in their favor if they're able to at least kind of market it a little bit. Because like the problem with the first Legend of Dragoon was that it came out right after Final Fantasy VII. It was right as the PlayStation 2 was starting to release and like people were playing their PS2. Like no one was talking about Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, it did also very much feel like a derivative of what Square Enix was doing.
Right.
At least until you got fairly far into it. So I understand that.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of why they might not do it again.
Oh, so sad.
Especially with like Final Fantasy games not doing well for the last several years.
With reason.
I'm not saying without reason. I'm just saying,
All right.
However, Final Fantasy 15 looks so good.
It does. You think we'll see any more of that at E3?
If it actually... they, I believe, said they were showing a video.
Okay, all right.
I mean, it still might be like 25 years away. I don't know. By the time it releases, it might be like Final Fantasy 237.
We'll
it might release on the PlayStation 6002. We'll see.
We'll all have grandchildren by then.
Yep.
Fucking great grandchildren. Oh my god. They need to get on their shit. What was the other thing that I had on there? Did you guys have things you wanted to add? Because I know, Dave, you had a bunch of articles that you put up, and I put of course, a shout out to you for providing a lot of the content for the podcast. Was there anything else that was in some of the news that you shared before with the group and also with your buddies at WDWP that you'd like to touch on?
What, E3 related or site related?
Well, we'll do E3 related, then I guess site related after that if you want to talk about that, sure.
No, you hit on most of it, just some of the games and companies that might be showing something off.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard that besides Fallout 4 not making an appearance, that Final Fantasy wasn't going to be there either.
On the Final Fantasy 14 site.
point?
On the Final Fantasy 14 site, they actually talk about like what they're showing and doing there. So at least 14's there.
Okay, 14.
I'm hearing conflicting sources anyway, so I don't even know. And with some of the leaks supposed leaks that what happened, who the hell knows?
Right.
Who the hell knows anymore?
Right.
I just want it to get here. Let's now, like right now.
So Microsoft announces that there can be a GPU performance boost with the connectless option of the Xbox One.
And no one is surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you... See, this is why I love Hot Topics, because these are like the controversial things we can kind of discuss. How will this alter the playing field for those who continue to use the Kinect? And how do you think that this is going to work? Like, there are going to be people who still want to use their Kinect for playing, but how are they going to be able to play their game if a developer is requiring a certain allocation for GPU performance out of that game?
I would expect a software update where they patch in like an on-off switch for the Kinect. A lot easier for a game developer to say, we use the Kinect for this part of the game and this part only.
Okay.
And then the Kinect will turn on when it's that time.
Okay.
or at least go inactive. Like if you think of the PlayStation Eye, like it's always on, but it isn't doing anything if it isn't actually being used.
Right.
I see that happening.
Okay. All right. That would make the whole snapping feature a little bit tricky, I believe, though.
It would.
It's Kevin just had a great idea. If companies could do that, that's perfect.
Right.
But at the same time, it completely defeats the purpose of buying an Xbox One.
Absolutely.
For such a heavily touted feature. And then there was somebody I had over the last weekend that saw the Xbox One for the first time in person, and I said, I'm going to show you a few little tricks that I can do with it. And this was a guy that was so against it that the Wii U was his next console if he bought one. And I convinced him otherwise. Just by some of the neat little things that it's capable of doing. Like, it's a really cool system. It's still got some flaws, as we've seen, but
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to tout such a piece of technology and then just say, okay, we're taking it out of the box now. To me, it's a very what the fuck moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I mean, they need to do it, but at the same time, it is definitely a what the fuck moment. It's like,
I think it all comes back to transparency and development. Like, they didn't make it clear what exactly the Kinect did to the system.
Yep.
Like, maybe they didn't research it enough. I don't know. Or maybe they just didn't publish it. But, like, this is something that should have happened like a year ago or 2 years ago before the product was launched, where they thought about this, where they thought about, because we have the Kinect on all the time, our games aren't going to be as good. Like our graphics aren't going to be as strong. Our frame rate isn't going to be as good. Maybe we should figure something out, And they didn't.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I think that is a detriment to kind of what their mission is, and I hope that they figure it out, because there's going to be a lot of people kind of pissed off about not only having bought the Xbox One with the Kinect, but also the fact that like now the games without it are going to look better.
oh, like supposedly, that's the other thing too. This is only theoretically a 10% boost. I mean, if it works, great. But as long as I see games running better on a PS4 than an Xbox One, I'm always going to go with my Sony system.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
What was I had something else that I was going to touch on right after that too. Playing field. Oh yeah. So I saw a commercial yesterday. I was watching hockey with both my roommate and one of my other buddies. I'm not really a hockey fan. I was just watching because we were drinking and hanging out. But I saw a commercial with the dude who played on Breaking Bad, Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was talking about like using the Xbox One. He was like, yeah, when I'm not, working on movies or, TV shows and stuff like that, I like to kick back and relax and play some video games. And he was like, Xbox on, and like the Xbox turned on, and he was like interacting with the Kinect features throughout the entire thing. He's like, oh yeah, it's like sometimes I just really like to play Titanfall. Xbox, play Titanfall, and like it would go to Titanfall, and he's like sitting there. He's like, yeah, it's like, check this out, something really cool just happened. Xbox, record that. And so like he was doing all this cool stuff. I was like, yeah, this is a cool commercial. And then at the very end of it, they were like, Xbox now $400. I was like, the fucking product you're advertising doesn't have the Kinect, you fucking dickheads. Like,
I know.
what the hell are you doing?
For the non-regular gamer, that's genius marketing.
But it is false advertising.
Yes, it is. But not everyone's going to realize that.
Yeah, they're
That's how they're going to make some more money.
They're gonna go buy an Xbox One without a Kinect, and be like, "What the fuck? Why can't I talk to my Xbox One?" It's like, "Well, you dumbass." And I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like everything they did was so cool up until that very last 2 seconds of on-screen time. And like, I feel like it's like that with Microsoft. Like they have all these opportunities to like do really fucking cool. And then, like, the very last thing they say, the very last thing they do just fucks it all up.
That sounds like Microsoft.
It sounds like Microsoft. And people ask why I don't back their products as much, and I'm just like, they're so close all the time. And yet they can't get, like, that one simple thing right,
The Xbox One running exclusively on Windows 8. Kinect is optional, but you must use Skype to use it.
And you would think at this point, if they were to do that, maybe one of the things that they'll announce at E3 is that you will be able to use voice navigation without the Kinect. Maybe that's what that's alluding to.
No, you can't.
I mean, the thing is, like, maybe they will let you do that because
how?
with a microphone, you know.
But it's the voice navigation, the hand gestures, the talking to your TV. Even when, like, if I do this, yeah, like my TV will see me and I can turn back like that.
Right.
But I mean, you're taking that essential piece of equipment, so-called essential, and now you want to do all the other cool stuff that you without it. No, it doesn't work that way. It can't work that way.
It does make it all but useless. So the thing that would be different is the hand gestures. You wouldn't be able to do the hand gestures without the Kinect. So that would be the Kinect selling feature. But I mean, technically, for voice navigation, all it needs is your voice. So if you're able to input the voice through the headphone,
or through a controller,
then sure, but
or through a controller,
like Sony, yeah.
And with the PS4, like if you do voice navigation, you can use the camera, or you can use the headphone connected to the controller to voice navigate.
Right.
I will say, however, when my camera is connected on the PS4, if a game, for example, says the word home, it pauses my game and takes me to my home screen.
Well, that's annoying.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's really funny.
I found that out by mistake when I was like, what the hell is going on?
Why
does
do you
this
keep taking me to the home screen? Yeah, Sony I'm ragging on Microsoft. Sony also needs to fix that because if they're going to have that feature in there in the first place, they should implement it really well. Like they should really spend some time like focusing on making that technology really shine. But also, like I mentioned this in the video for the top 5 things that Sony can do to impress us, and also in the article, is like for the camera functionality to make it work properly. So like if I'm live streaming, there's no reason why the camera should be focused on some other fucking random point in the room. It should be focused on me. And the camera has the ability to do facial detection. Like when you log in, it can detect where your face is and then log you in from there.
I mean, I'd also really like to see a game that actually uses it.
Yes.
Other than a dance game that's also on PS3?
Yes. I would like that very much. Yes.
Like a PS4 exclusive game that uses the camera.
And it could be a downloadable game. It could be an indie game. I mean, there is an indie game that's coming out. That's
Well, like you just reminded me. Like Xbox One has one coming out called Fantasia Music Evolved. I think that's what it's called.
That game was supposed to come out like 2 years ago.
Yep.
But I mean, it's coming out this year, supposedly. I have some faith in them. We're getting some new footage at E3. We'd see it in action again, and from what I've seen, like it looks pretty cool. Okay. To actually utilize the Kinect in that way too. Like, yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah. Hopefully,
I'm really hoping to see more from Harmonix, that new project, that like music first-person shooter. I'm really hoping to see more of that because that looks insanely cool, and I really want to know how it works.
Yeah. I didn't see anything about it, but that sounds interesting.
There was a video released probably like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Essentially, like it's a first-person shooter, but you have to time your actions to the music, and the better it works to the music, like more powerful your shot.
Okay. So if you press the trigger right when the music beat is going, then your shot would be more powerful.
But I think it's more than that. I believe the way you play influences the music as well.
Okay.
So like because you're running, the tempo of the music will change.
That's pretty cool.
There's almost no info on it. It's just like one video as far as I know. But it looks awesome.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't even know if it has a title.
It has. I'm trying to think of what it was. It wasn't Amplitude. That was something else.
Amplitude.
Got me wondering. Because I know there's also rumblings of a new Rock Band game, but that's also under wraps right now.
And they just keep saying we're waiting for the right time to do something with that. They've said that like 100 times.
I think Rock Band has a much better chance of being successful than something like Guitar Hero, because like Rock Band, I feel like they wait very long before their next iteration, so people still have time to like pick up the last one and they pick up the DLC for it and like pick up the peripherals and get the pro version and stuff like that.
I mean, the only problem I see with a new Rock Band is if they do it on the next gen systems. Like, I've probably spent $100 on songs over the course of the last 10 years,
Yeah.
and I won't have them on the new system.
Unless they have a way of being able to let you bring those over to your next gen console.
I don't know.
It was back in February, Kev. It was Chroma, CHROMA.
Yep. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I might have to check that shit out.
And that's also something that I could very easily see them using, say, a camera or a microphone with.
What would be a feature that they would be able to do in that would really get you excited?
I don't know.
Like using the camera.
I mean, it just seems like the type of thing, movement or actual singing, could affect the game.
Gotcha. That'd be cool. I think you guys are cutting out.
I don't know.
Come on,
Yeah,
Skype.
the podcast, so you can look at it later.
All right.
Well,
Sorry.
Hold on. Fuck up.
we made it almost a good half hour here. Yeah.
All right, we're nearing the end of the podcast, and you guys is.
Yeah, we're all still here too.
All right, what I'm gonna do?
More or less.
Wait, hold on. Wait, are we think we're good? Everyone speak.
Are we good?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
I can hear people. Good.
Yay.
Because it was cutting out for you guys too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let me get to this last bit of information. Fucking. All right. Do you think Nintendo should stop attending E3 altogether?
No.
Why?
Absolutely not. I mean, I think they should still be there. I think their presence still needs to be there.
I think Nintendo's been withdrawing from too many events lately.
I think so too.
They haven't had a presence at a lot of major conferences, and I feel like E3, yes, it isn't as relevant as it used to be, but
Mindshare.
Nintendo, don't just show up in Japan. That's why you only sell games in Japan.
Right. And Satoru Iwata has been having some health complications, so that's why he's not going to be going to E3 in any capacity. But Nintendo wasn't planning on actually being there in any capacity in the first place anyway. So, yeah, Nintendo execs, if you are listening to this, maybe you should start going to E3 again.
Or any conference outside of Japan.
Right. Game Developers Conference. PAX, any of the PAXs.
Really, whatever you want. Just pick one. Just make it in North America, and then also do one in Europe.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. One a year.
If you want to do Australia, I'll throw you a bonus.
Be careful, though. Everything in Australia can kill you.
Oh, no, I'm saying they should go there. I'm just saying, there are less conferences in Australia.
That's true.
That's true.
It's kind of an isolated market in many, many ways.
Yeah.
There's still some gaming and culture over there, though. It's sometimes the government's fault for the restrictions that are placed on the games that get there, but
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
cool people over there.
They're having a PAX Australia this year.
Nice.
I saw that advertised at PAX. So.
Huh, I didn't even notice that. I was too busy kind of being googly-eyed over all the awesome things going on.
It was PAX Down Under or something. I don't know. I think the guy that you interviewed,
Down under my pants. Sorry.
the guy that you interviewed from the woman from the headset company.
Oh, Astro, yeah.
She was talking about going to that, or maybe the first guy was talking about it before we started the interview.
Right. So I think for you guys at home, I am going to be reviewing. These are Astro A40s I'm wearing right now. I'm going to be reviewing the Astro A50s. I've been using them for the past 2.5 weeks, getting used to using them, kind of figuring out the ins and outs of them and how to use them and functionality and stuff like that. And if you guys want a kind of sneak peek of that, I like them very much. They do have some issues with kind of pairing them. Sometimes they auto unpair, which is really annoying. If you have it too close to other wireless devices, that the sound gets a little distorted. They're very comfortable. They only come in black, and they don't have the custom head tag speaker tag thingies that these things are. But for what they are and like kind of the functionality and like the fact that all the controls are on the headsets, they're really cool. I like them a lot. But there will be a full review, hopefully by next weekend. And there are a bunch of other games that will be reviewed throughout our team. Dave has one right now. I'm trying to get one over to Kev, and I'm trying to get one over to myself to review as well. But yeah, we've got a lot of exciting things going on the Black Oni channel that I hope you guys at home are ready for. It's about to get so real.
I've been working on a top secret project that is semi-video game related that I can't really talk about for at least another month or two.
No!
Because it's a year away. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you guys. I'm just not going to talk about it online.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right.
That's fair. I will stay quiet on that.
Yeah.
Now, okay, 2 questions very quickly. Should we be expecting every genre to have stories? And so Need for Speed, the guys that who are developing Need for Speed are trying to go for a really deep and integrated storyline. And I kind of looked at that. I was like, why? We don't need a storyline for a racing game.
It depends. I mean, like, I don't know. It depends. And I think it also depends how much of a story you expect. Like, I'm thinking of one of the Unreal tournaments where they gave it a story that, like, it's a reality TV show and you're a convict. And that was enough of a story. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it isn't really necessary.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, when you mentioned Need for Speed, it made me think, no. Like, less story and do what made it work the first time. Like, one of my buddies has been really hyping this. He really would like to see another game where you can mod your cars, where you can just tweak it, design it the way you want. And it made me think of Underground.
Yep.
Like, those 2 titles were here, gone, done. Then they went back to the old way of the franchise. I wouldn't mind seeing another game like that.
I would love to see another game like that, actually. Yeah, giving you that
sense
of kind of ownership.
I mean, we still have. Do you remember the Little John song? Remember Get Low?
Yeah.
Remember that shit playing at the beginning of that game every time you turn that on? Yeah.
And
I'll never forget that song, besides, like, him, but that game is ingrained in my head.
21st, that's all my partners roll. Yeah, that's my shit. Oh.
But I mean, even there, you could just have, like the very, very basic story. Just be like a person who likes to race and wants to collect more cars. Story's done. That's good.
Yeah,
they don't need to do anything elaborate, I think. I mean, I power to them for wanting to do something like that, but if it's going to take away resources from making, the gameplay itself better, like, the customization, like if they're going to skimp on customization for the sake of having that story be a certain way, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Because that was basically the number one thing about Need for Speed Underground that I loved the most. Like, even though you can make your car look super fucking ridiculous, like, you can make your car the way you wanted it to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I want to make a Black Oni car. Fucking sick. And final question. What will be your next console if you are to buy one at all? So, Dave, you've already bought the Xbox One. So basically all you have left is PC and Nintendo's Wii U.
If I had the money, I'd probably get another PC.
Okay.
I'd get a nice game rig again, but I mean, the next console, I still don't see enough of a reason to buy a Wii U. Mario Kart 8 looks great. I'm liking Fatal Frame is finally coming back again, but I have no desire.
What could they do to convince you to get a Wii U?
If they could have, I think I said it in the other podcast, if they could bring back Eternal Darkness in some way, I might have to. I might.
The game was so fun.
Yeah. Like, I don't see it happening, though. I don't.
That's fair. All right. What about you, Kev?
I don't know. I honestly don't think I have the space in my life for another console. Like, I've got a 3DS that I play fairly regularly. I've got a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4 that I play a lot. I've got a Vita that I hardly ever touch. I've got a PC that can play games, but I don't ever do it.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to buy something, it would probably be a gaming PC. just because at this point with the PlayStation 4, if I got a gaming PC, I don't see a point in the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like, between the two, I've got almost all of the same games and functionality. I don't know. I'd like to get a Wii U, but if it were really, really cheap, I might consider it.
Yeah.
But I'd probably buy 2 games for it, and
that's it.
I don't know. That's it.
So I put this fucking question in there, and I still don't know what I would fucking do. I want to get a Wii U for because I haven't really gotten involved in the Legend of Zelda games as much as I feel like I should, having called myself like a hardcore gamer. And Metroid, I haven't really ever been into Metroid that much. But Mario games are always a solid thing. Mario Kart 8 looks fucking really fun. Bayonetta 2, again, I've mentioned it before, but I really want that game. There's a game called Xenogears, I think, where you can jump in giant mechs, and it's an RPG, so I think I would really like that idea. I hope it's executed well. If it is, then I might have to pick up a Wii U. But they for me, again, they need to make that like fucking $200 cheap, like super cheap for me to pick it up. Because like, again, I have backlogs of games on PS3 that I still have to catch up with, and like I still have friends who are like, why don't you get an Xbox 360 so we can play? So like, if I really needed to get Xbox games, then I could still just get a 360 because they're probably going to keep releasing games on 360.
Nintendo needs to do one of two things. Either they need to start releasing all of their games on both the Wii U and 3DS and like making them cross-compatible.
Yes.
Then I might pick up a Wii U. Or they need to stop releasing any of their games that are on Wii U on 3DS because right now I don't have a reason to buy it.
Exactly.
And the 3DS is so much cheaper. Really, really good portable. Like the Vita looks better, but the 3DS just plays so much better.
Yeah. Monster Hunter 4 is coming out on 3DS, but it's not coming out on Wii U. Like I'm sorry, that's fucking retarded.
They may not have control over that, so
it is. So I think that has more to do with the fact that Capcom was like, "Hey, we have all these 3DSs in the wild. Like, we should do it." But like at the same time, if Capcom was really that concerned about money, they would be releasing it on a PS4 as well. I feel at least. But the PS4 is going to keep selling.
Capcom Monster Hunter doesn't do all that well outside of Japan, and other than Nintendo products, there aren't as many consoles. There's lots of 3DSs and Wii U's in Japan.
Yeah,
it's wildly successful there, just not anywhere else. So it's a decision that makes sense. I don't like it.
That's fair.
I don't like it, but it makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, I would get a 3DS. I'm sorry, I would get a Wii U if I were to pick between the two. But if the Xbox One and the Wii U were the same price and they were like, hey, you can pick one, I would probably get an Xbox One. But if the Wii U were to be significantly cheaper than an Xbox One, I would get a Wii U.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah. Anything else?
If they come out with a really, really nice Steam machine that is priced well and actually is a good machine, that is a possibility. That is a possibility next year.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, I might do that too. Yeah.
I completely forgot about the Steam machines because no one's talking about Steam machines. You guys
got delayed.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. Last I checked, it was supposed to be late this year, and because of something that happened, I think it was with the controller. They pushed it to next year.
Wow.
Yeah. So
also been doing a lot to sort of ensure. They've been doing a lot to ensure cross support because all the different Steam machines will have different specs.
Yeah.
So I know that they've been doing a lot to try and ensure that it actually is going to perform at least like within adequate tolerances between machines. So if you buy the cheapest one, you'll still be able to use everything and not have any like slowed frame rates or something like that.
Right. Huh. Hadn't even thought about that. Do you think with the Steam machine, people will be able to buy games that aren't on Steam? Like, I assume so, right? Because it's technically a PC, but it's running on the Steam OS.
That's what I've been kind of skeptical of. Like, how is that going to work? Am I going to be able to buy a game that runs on a Windows machine and play it on the Steam machine? Like, if it's a PC game, how is that going to work?
Yeah.
Right. Questions we want answers to. Maybe we'll get something like that at E3. I totally forgot about Steam machines.
Does Valve even have a presentation?
I don't know.
I think they're going to at least have a presence there. I don't know if they have a presentation. I didn't see it on the agenda.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
I didn't either. With that, we're going to close out the podcast. We're going to ask you guys at home that very ominous question. Will Valve be at E3, and in what capacity will they be there? Will they be announcing anything about the Steam Machine, about the OS? Everyone can scratch and stroke their beards and thinking about that one.
I shaved my beard for a job interview.
Oh, sad face. How'd the interview go?
It went well.
Nice.
So that's good. Yeah.
That is good. Well, thank you guys for being on the podcast.
Oh, gosh.
It was a really good session. Aside from the whole fucking Skype deciding to fuck us.
I thought it did again for a second when you paused. I was like, that would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect.
Oh shit, Dave just got disconnected. That's really funny.
Skype knew you were speaking bad of it, and it didn't like it.
Well, fucking, if Skype wants to stop fucking up, then maybe you won't do that anymore.
I can still hear you guys. I just can't see myself anymore.
I can't see you either.
No.
I'm still here. Wrap it up.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Game On and Jay Blaze out. Make sure you guys check out Kevin's channel and wdwp.co on the interwebs.
All right.